So this morning, we're going to talk about some stories that has teaching. So the way how it works is like the scripture. There is a serious scripture that talk about the path of yoga, the nature of the self. Vedantic teacher, Upanishads, scriptures, Vedantic scriptures that talk about the self, because that's the purpose of yoga, is to help you to gain more knowledge of the self, to have more awareness and more knowledge. But some of the scripture is very difficult, so you have to have a teacher to teach you. So some of the scripture is written in a story form, so to help the people, the masses, to understand bits and parts of the teaching. Okay, so these are called the epics or the mythology stories, and also you can learn more or less also from the story of our teachers' life, how they apply the teaching as well. So I'm going to tell you a few stories today. We don't know how much time we have. So if Priya Chaitanya always remind me the time, because the stories are a lot. There's a lot of stories. I can tell stories forever, but you know. So the first story is a story of Ganesha. Ganesha is the elephant head. You can show. Bring to them to show. So the story of Ganesha is he was created by his mother called Parvati. Parvati is like Mother Nature out of mud, like a human form. She thought that she would create a son of her own. Mother Nature. Parvati is like Mother Nature. She created a son out of mud. So she tells to the son to take care of the house and keep guarding the door so nobody can enter. And she went to take a bath. And the master of the house, who is Shiva, Shiva represents consciousness. Parvati represents Mother Nature. Come back and say, the Ganesha say, you cannot come in. So Shiva, all-powerful Shiva, chop his head. Yeah, who are you? So then chop his head. So Parvati is very distraught because she lost her son. And then Shiva say, okay, so I give back the life to your son. And go and find somebody that just died. The head is facing north or east, which is a auspicious direction. So then I'm going to give back your son. So then they found the elephant, and then they chopped the head of the elephant, and Shiva, Shiva is the god, so powerful. He can do his psychic surgery, put back the head of the elephant on the top of the baby Ganesha. And so Ganesha has the head of the elephant. He come back alive. So he is the son of Shiva and Parvati. So this story, just all the stories, you have to learn the lesson, the deeper lesson. So the deeper lesson is there is nothing in nature that is not endowed with consciousness. Okay? So Parvati, the mother nature, create the Ganesha, but then Shiva has to give him his head. Yeah? That means everything in nature is endowed with consciousness, is the product of Shiva and Parvati. Okay, consciousness and the nature and the elements, the energy of nature. So then, um, so Ganesha has a head of elephant. What is that? What that means? Elephant is a vegetarian animal and is very wise, you know. So he has a trunk that wherever he go, he remove obstacles. So you imagine if you have a head of Ganesha, yeah, with the elephant head, and wherever you go, you remove obstacles, then your life will be smooth. And what it means if you have the consciousness of wisdom, then it will remove all obstacles on your way in your life, because we have obstacles in our life because we are not wise. But if we have the head of wisdom, then we will be wiser. So that's the meaning. When you look at Ganesha, that's the meaning. Okay? The wisdom that comes from the awareness, comes from consciousness. Okay? And he's a product of Shiva and Parvati. That means Mother Nature and consciousness. Okay? Clear? Okay. So Ganesha has a brother. The brother is Subramanya. Subramanya comes from Shiva. The heat of Shiva, Shiva meditate, the heat of Shiva, drop down like sweat and drop down, and then nobody can hold it. It's so hot. So it dropped into the bush. And then Parvati came, and then from the drop of Shiva, it came 6 babies. So Parvati came and hold them all together, become one person with 6 heads. One person with 6 heads. The 6 heads represent the 6 directions: north, south, east, west, up and down. And also the 6 heads represent the 6 chakra, the 6 energy centers. So then it becomes Subramanya. So Subramanya also is a son of Shiva and Parvati, of consciousness and of nature. So Subramanya is very strong. He has a peacock as a instrument, as a vehicle. And Ganesha has a mouse as a vehicle. So Subramanya is a little bit proud. So they say, Shiva and Parvati say, so now the two of you, 2 brothers, you're going to go to compete, see who can go around the earth 3 times, the world 3 times, and come back first, then we'll receive the sweet fruit, a mango sweet fruit. And then so Subramanya said, no problem. I go with my peacock, which is a bird. I can fly very fast. And my brother, he's very big, and he has a vehicle of a mouse. So he's very slow. So he said, no problem, I go. So then he would fly. But Ganesha represents wisdom. So he didn't move, he didn't take action. But he goes slowly around. He ride his mouse vehicle, and he go around father and mother, Shiva and Parvati. Because he said Shiva and Parvati represent the whole world. The whole world is nothing else but consciousness and Mother Nature. So why I have to fly around? I just go around my father and mother 3 times, and then I get back. So that's a story. So he win. So the story is, before you act, you need to think. Sometimes you act, you do this, but you waste a lot of time. Yeah. So you just need to think before, be wise before action. Then you might win. Okay. So Subramanya represents the god of action. Yeah, he represents Mars, action. So then, before you do action, think before. Okay, you might save a lot of energy. So that is the one story. Now, story of Krishna. Krishna, you can show the picture. Krishna just look, see if they can see. You can see? Did you see Krishna? So this is a Krishna temple. So Krishna is holding the flute. So he's a flute player, the bansuri. So the flute is an empty instrument. It's like a bamboo hole, and it's empty. So Krishna play beautiful music. So what that means? Be an empty instrument, and the Lord can play beautiful music on you. So this is a teaching of Karma Yoga. Krishna teach in the Bhagavad Gita, the whole teaching of Karma Yoga. I mean, don't work in life with your ego, thinking that you know. Oh, but try to be empty. Yeah, try to be empty, and then you can become the beautiful instrument, in the hands of the divine. Okay? Most of the time we are very selfish. So that's the first teaching of Krishna, the flute. So Krishna there's a lot of stories in the book called Srimad Bhagavatam, was the story of Sri Krishna. He teaches about divine love. What is divine love? That means the love or the closeness or the unity with God. And what means God? Yeah, God is uh, the supreme intelligence, yeah, that take care of everything. We call it God. Or in this story, then it's Krishna. So he has many devotees. Krishna has many devotees called the gopis. And that means a lot of people love Krishna. But we can have love and devotion, but what kind of love and devotion? Are we really very pure? Are we really love God? So Krishna want to put people to test. Because the gopis, they think, we all love Krishna, but it seems that Krishna is not impartial. It seems that he loved one gopi called Radha more. So Krishna want to teach them a lesson. So one day, he hold his stomach and he rolled the ground. He has stomach pain. So then all the gopis, oh my God, you have stomach pain. Because if you love somebody, really, if the person feels something, you feel it, yeah, and you want to help. So then he say, what can we do to help you? And Krishna say, I know one recipe. If you can find the nectar, the water that comes from the washing of the feet of one of my devotee, then I will be cured. So you have to know the cultural idea behind. The feet is considered unholy, and the head is considered more holy. But the feet, you touch the ground and you don't point your feet toward the altar, toward the teacher, out of respect. When I'm washing the feet and then drink that water, you can do it to God. There's a puja, a ceremony that you can do it. But if you do it to the devotee who is the imperfect and and God drinking the washing of the feet water, then it's like impossible. So they wanted to help Krishna, but nobody wanted to do that. So they run to the village and they knock on the door of one lady, And the lady say, oh, Krishna have a stomach pain, he want this. She said, no problem. So she wash her feet, bring the water to Krishna. Krishna drink, he has no problem. She has no more pain. So who is that lady? She's Radha. What's the difference between her and the other people? Yeah, she doesn't question what Krishna wants. She should do whatever Krishna wants. And also she doesn't feel that she's inferior or superior to Krishna. Why the other people don't want to do? Because they feel that they're inferior to Krishna. So we always have this idea, about ourselves that is not correct. Okay, so we have to let go of the idea, and you have to surrender to the will of God. Okay, because God wants us to do this and do that, and sometimes we say, "Oh, this is inferior job for me," yeah, and I'm not going to do this. You see, but the situation called that you need to do this, but you say, "Oh no, I don't do this." Yeah, I can worship, I can chant, I can teach yoga, but I'm not going to wash the floor. Something like this. So you feel that you are inferior or superior, but God is everywhere. The teaching is divinity is everywhere, yeah, and we have to follow God's will and don't have our own personal will. Another similar kind of teaching in the story of Krishna is the gopis, who is pictured as the female, beautiful female. It's not really female or male, yeah, but it just they add this dimension into it, so you get attracted to the story and you understand with your normal psychology the story. So then the gopis are the female going take bath, and they took off their clothing, they put it on the side of the river, and then Krishna, who is gone, and he play his flute, very attractive, and the gopis or the devotees want to come and play with Krishna, to be close to Krishna and play to Krishna, because everyone want to have that experience of divine love, to be close to God. And but they come out, but then the problem was Krishna took all their clothing on the bank of the river and hang it on tree. So then they they wanted to go and play, but they cannot, because their clothing is missing. So they are ashamed, yeah, and they don't want to come out of the water, even though they want to play with Krishna, they want to be close to Krishna. So finally Krishna keep playing the flute, and they have to surrender. They let go of their shame. Shame comes from identification with the body. So, and they come and play with Krishna. So the stories say, if you want to be close to the divine, yeah, you should not identify with your body. If you think that you are the body, then the divine, or the divine consciousness, is beyond gender, beyond character. And all the clothing that we wear is only some appearance. We wear clothing, but this is only a certain quality that we put on, some character, and then we need to let go of this. Let go of the clothing and let go of all the things that you are hiding under. You think that it is you, but you have to be naked, you have to be open, you have to be completely, open to be close to the divine. You should not hide anything. You get that teaching? So now, another story. You need to always tell me the time, okay? I have no idea what time. So, story of from Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a big epic. There's many, many, many stories, many characters, and in it has also the whole teaching. Bhagavad Gita is in the Mahabharata. So, in the story, there is a group of bad guys and the good guys. So the wife of the good guy is named Draupadi. She's a beautiful princess, long hair, beautiful, pretty, and very graceful, very respectful. And she has a lot of love and devotion to Krishna, who is a member of the family. But she feels inside that this person is God, is has the super consciousness and the wisdom. But anyway, one day the bad guys want to pull her out and humiliate her by removing her sari, her dress. The Indian dress is very long, like 6 meters. They wrap around the body. So then they want to humiliate her, the beautiful princess, by pulling on her dress, disrobe her. So at this moment, very dangerous time, she prayed to Krishna. But she prayed, in the beginning, she prayed to Krishna using all the different quality of Krishna, external quality. Krishna, the Lord of Vrindavan, Krishna, the Lord of this, that, the different quality of Krishna, and nothing happened. They still pull on her dress. Yeah. But then at the last minute, she said, Krishna, the indweller of my heart. So she remembered that Krishna is not really outside. Yeah. Not the quality of Krishna outside. But Krishna is within her heart. That time she said, Krishna, the indweller of my heart. And then Krishna appeared. And then by the miracle of Krishna, he made the dress very, very long, very long. So they just keep pulling, and they fall down, The dress is long, how many meters, and then they cannot humiliate her, they cannot disrobe her. So the teaching of the story just shows that when we pray, we pray something external, and it doesn't work. Our prayer is shallow, it doesn't work, but we have to pray with the heart, with the consciousness that God is not external, it's not in some name, in some form, external. It is within your heart. You have to pray. Sometimes you pray silently, but you have to feel it within your heart. And at that time, miracle can happen. Okay? And then another story from Mahabharata, many stories. It's a story at the end of the book. Then Yudhishthira, who is a brother, is very righteous. He's the son of Dharma. He's never do anything wrong in his life. He has one weakness, but anyway, he's the best among all the brothers. And then they are on the way, the brothers, on the way to heaven. And all of them drop on the road to heaven. One person. They all drop. They miss the door of heaven. And only Yudhishthira left on the way to heaven. But then there was a dog, a black dog, that been following them the whole time. And so when everybody dropped, there's only Yudhishthira and the black dog. And the chariot of heaven come down and say, okay, you got on the chariot to go to heaven. So Yudhishthira, who is a son of Dharma, that means he never do anything wrong. He knows the right thing. So he says, okay, so take this dog, bring him to heaven. And then the charioteer say, no, there is no, dog cannot go to heaven. He cannot go. So Yudhishthira say, well, if you don't want to take this dog that is very loyal, he followed me the whole time, You don't want to bring him to heaven? I'm not going to heaven. Okay? So at that time, zoop, the dog appear. He become Dharma. So it's a test of the God, Dharma, in forms of the dog. And you can see Yudhishthira, he doesn't see the difference between himself and the dog. He doesn't mistreat the dog. Yeah, so that's why he's the best, right? So, so that's one of the story. There's many more. So now, how many minutes? 33 minutes. Okay. Story of Ramayana. Ramayana is another big story, epic of India, and it talk about the story of Sita and Rama and Hanuman and Lakshmana. Sita is the wife, Rama is the husband, Lakshmana is the brother of Rama, Hanuman is the monkey god. So the story is Sita, who represent our individual self, is being kidnapped by Ravana, the 10-headed demon. 10-headed demon represent our ego. So we are separated. So Sita is kidnapped, so she's separated from Rama. And Rama is God, or the cosmic soul. The individual soul is separated from cosmic soul. I mean, we are feeling separated from the divine because we were kidnapped by our ego. So when the ego is there, and the ego has many forms, so that's why 10 heads, the ego has many forms. And when we are egoistic, yeah, then at that time, we become separated. We cannot be the instrument of the divine. We feel very lonely. So the story is like this, depicting how Ravana, the ego, kidnapped Sita. But Sita, always very faithful and devoted to Rama. The Ravana want to marry her, but she didn't want to marry him. He's all the time thinking, of union with Rama, her husband. So anyway, the story is, before the kidnapping scene, then Sita, Lakshmana, Rama is staying in the forest. Okay? And the demon disguised into a deer. So then Rama run after the deer, and then they disguise into the voice of Rama, help, help, help. And then Lakshmana has to run after Rama to try to help. And before he left, he said to Sita, I'm going to draw a circle of fire here, a red circle around the house. If you stay inside, then you are safe. Just don't step outside, no matter what. If you step outside, then you'll be in danger. So he draw the circle of fire. And then he run off to try to save Rama. But the whole thing was created by the demon. And then, so the demon disguised himself into a sannyasi, wearing orange, and try to beg for food, and come knock on the door and call Sita, please give me food, please give me food. She say, okay, food is there, you can take food at the door. He said, no, 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 you need to come out, you need to be respectful, you need to give me food proper. So then she didn't want to not do her duty proper, so she walked out of the house, she stepped out of the circle, yeah, and then she's kidnapped by the demon. And that's the story. So what is the story means? The story means, what is a circle of fire that you should not step out? If not, you'll be kidnapped by the demon. Yeah, is the energy. So let's say that you are living in the ashram. Yeah, so you are safe. Yeah, because in the energy of the ashram, then everyone is behaved like saint. Because why? Because energy is lifting everybody up. Okay, it's not your own energy, the whole energy of the ashram. So you are lifted up, but you step out, yeah, of the circle of protection, yeah, then the demon can kidnap you. That means your ego or your mind and your desire, have a lot of desire, can kidnap your mind, and then you will be lost. So that is the teaching. Okay, and another teaching in Ramayana is a teaching of uh, the story of Hanuman. Hanuman, he's the son of the wind god, but he's basically is a prana. You know, prana is a vital energy. Okay, so most of the time we, we wasted our prana. So it's like monkey, here, there, jump here, there, waste a lot of of our prana, and so. But when our prana is concentrated, like for a yogi, when the prana become very strong and very concentrated, then you can develop what we call siddhi. Siddhi means the power of the mind. You can do anything. So Hanuman was a yogi, but he's a monkey, and he when he was young, he he thought that the sun is an orange. So he's capable to run, jump up to the sun and pick up the sun to eat like an orange. You imagine the whole universe is in turmoil because the sun is, the sun gave life to everybody. So then, so he's, so Hanuman, his elder said to him that he has to forget all his CDs, so he forget. So he becomes just a normal monkey. But when he met with Lord Rama, Rama went to the forest and he's about to looking for Sita that was kidnapped. So then when he met with Lord Rama, he recognized Lord Rama is God. At that time, all his power come back. So this is a very good teaching. Yeah, we have a lot of prana, we have a lot of energy. We wasted our energy. Yeah, and then we don't have a mission. We don't have our dharma. We don't have our mission. But when we have the divine mission, I mean, we have our mission given by God. Yeah. So this mission here is how to unite the individual soul and cosmic soul. If you're going to dedicate your prana or your energy for that union between the individual soul and cosmic soul, I mean, you do your sadhana, you use your prana instead of wasting your prana. Yeah, you use your prana for sadhana. That means spiritual practices for you to elevate yourself and meeting with God. Then at that time, you are powerful. So Hanuman become very powerful, yeah, because all his power can be used now for the mission, yeah. So that is a very good teaching. So if you want to become powerful, want to become helpful, yeah, you need to dedicate yourself for a mission, okay? And then your mind become very focused and your prana become very focused, and then you can do impossible things that normally people cannot do. So he can make himself, he can fly, he can make himself small, he can make himself big, and he go to Lanka, he tried to save Sita. So Hanuman become very powerful because he become a servant of Lord Rama. So he bring Rama and deliver Sita, and Sita is very happy, and she want to give a gift to Hanuman. The gift is like a necklace of pearl. It's like a jewelry, a very expensive jewelry, a necklace of pearl, beautiful, very expensive. So she gave it to Hanuman. Hanuman take the necklace and he eat the beads. He break every beads. He destroyed the beads. And then Sita say, "Hey Hanuman, what you doing? I gave you that beautiful jewel. You need to hang. It's beautiful. Why you do this? Why you destroy?" So then he said, "Because I want to break inside the pearl. I want to see if Sita and Rama is inside. If Sita and Rama is not inside, there is no value for me." Okay? So this is a teaching of the devotion. So he's single-minded. He only sees serving Sita and Rama. If anything expensive, anything worldly that does not have Sita and Rama in it, he destroys. He doesn't want it. He rejected it. So this is a teaching of the beautiful devotion and dedication of Hanuman. Okay, and this other teaching is when they wanted to bring Rama into Lanka, which is an island, to save Sita, they built a bridge with rocks. But whatever rocks they build, the rocks sink to the ocean, so they cannot build. So Hanuman write on the rock the name of Ram. He write the word Ram, then the rock floats. So every rock, they put the name Ram, then the rock float. So they can make the bridge out of the name of Rama, of God. So what does it mean? It means if you remember God, repeating the mantra, then nothing is impossible. Yeah, you build the bridge to do the impossible thing. Yeah, so to unite the individual soul and cosmic soul, you just have to be dedicated, using the name, the mantra. Okay. So if you have mantra, repeat mantra very seriously. Don't forget. Okay. So now, how many minutes left? 20 minutes. Okay. So I tell some story of Swami Sivananda. What is it? Who is Sadashiva? Who is Sadashiva? He asked question, what is the meaning of Ganga coming from Shiva's hair? Ganga represents the nectar of immortality. When a person is meditating and they attain to a very high level, then they attain to the top of the energy go to the top of the head, and that nectar comes out. Okay? But the story is different. The story, say, Ganga come from very holy, sacred Ganga, but she's very proud. So then Shiva catch her and put her in her hair so that she can come out slowly. So basically the teaching means, you need to do practice, but don't expect, don't be proud. And then you will gain some nectar of immortality slowly. Okay. Which Sadashiva is that?
I think the Brazil one.
Sadashiva from Brazil. Okay. So now, let me tell a different story. Swami Sivananda. Swami Sivananda is a doctor, and even though he's become a Swami, but he still take care of the sick. And this is just to show how he's a dedicated and compassionate person. So one day he gave some medicine to this man. And then the man say thanks and then walk away. In the Himalaya, they walk on the trail and they walk far away. So then, you know, half an hour, 1 hour later, Swami Sivananda just remember, oh, there's another better medicine for his ailment. So normally, if somebody already left your office and you already gave him whatever, and you think of something better, you will say, oh, sorry, it's too bad. I should have given him this. But Swami Shivananda, no. You see? So he take the medicine and he run after the man on the trail, looking for him. He run, he look for him to give him the medicine. So this is Swami Shivananda. Okay? He doesn't care about himself. He's just completely dedicated. And another time he was walking in the Himalaya and he saw people walk the opposite side. And they say, why people walk the opposite side? And they say, oh, because there is leprous or people that are sick with leprosy. That means, in fact, they can infect you by touching. So Swami Shivananda, he doesn't follow people to go reverse. Yeah, he go ahead and he help the leprous. So he doesn't care of himself. Another story, Swami Shivananda is teaching people in the ashram, and some people have some bad addiction, like addiction to cigarette. And one man has addiction to cigarette, and he tells so many times he still, you know, try to buy cigarette and smoke cigarettes. Even though this man has very much devotion and respect of Swami Shivananda, but uh, he cannot control himself. He still smokes cigarettes. So one day, Swami Shivananda did something that is unusual. Yeah, normally then he said, no, don't smoke cigarette. So that day he asked people to go buy for him a package of cigarettes. So he himself gave to this man the package of cigarette by putting the cigarette under his pillow. So when this man come to his room and he saw the cigarette under his pillow, he didn't have to sneak out and try to buy the cigarettes and everything and be, breaking the rule of the ashram, yeah, and go contrary to his teacher advice. But then he saw the cigarette under his pillow and he figured out that it was Swami Shivananda. So he realized Swami Shivananda love and compassion for him is the main thing. Swami Shivananda love and compassion for him is bigger. It's not the rule per se. Yeah. Swami Shivananda break his own rule to get the cigarettes to give him, so he doesn't have to sneak out, he doesn't have to break the rule, and he doesn't have to go contrary to his guru's teaching. So he realized the love of Swami Shivananda is so big. Yeah. So he quit the cigarette altogether. So that is one of the story. The story of Swami Vishnudevananda. Swami Vishnudevananda has great love and devotion toward his master. And he told the story, how many minutes? he told the story that one day he was at the yoga ranch in New York, where I am right now, one of the ashram, and they were doing a procession. I'm not sure what procession, and Swamiji is riding a horse. At that time there was horse, and he hold a picture of Swami Sivananda in front of his chest, and is riding a horse. But what happened, we don't know. But the horse all of a sudden go crazy and buck, and Swami Vishnudevanji fell down, and the horse kicked him in his forehead. You know, the horse, he has a hoof, his kick of the horse is very strong, and you can break your skull. At that time, Swami Vishnudevanji received the horse kick, but nothing happened. He was protected. How he was protected? He was protected by his master, Swami Sivananda, because the picture of Swami Sivananda received the horse kick. It's not the picture received the horse kick, because the picture has glass. Yeah? If the picture received the horse kick, then it will break the glass. Yeah? But it somehow psychically that happened is the picture has a break. You can see now the picture is in Canada. It has a break in the picture right by the forehead. All of a sudden has a break in the paper of the picture. And Swami Vishnudevanji did not get the kick. Okay, so like impossible. It's like all the power of the horse kick go into the picture of Sivananda, and he was protected. So the power of devotion. Yeah, God is everywhere, God is everything, God is all powerful, but we don't see it. Yeah. That's why our mind is full of ego, is doing this and doing that, but we are not turning to God. Swami Vishnudevanji gave the name of his organization Sivananda, because he dedicated everything to Sivananda. So the last story, the story of me, the story I told many people already, how I was helped by the Guru. So I was sent to direct the ashram in Grass Valley, California, and there was no money. And I thought that I would build a Krishna temple, because Swami Vishnu called that place, is a valley, called that place Vrindavan. It's a place of play of Sri Krishna. So Vrindavan Yoga Farm, that's the name. So when I came, and the place is just one old house and nothing, no cabins, nothing, very small. And then I thought, oh, okay, so I'm going to build the Krishna temple. That's the only thing I can think of that I can do. And so to cut the story short, some miracle happened. So I have the money to build the temple. At that time, it was just not a big amount, just 7,000 or something. But we don't have that money. But somehow by miracle we have that money, and the temple builder came, and the temple builder came from Canada. He's an Indian special temple builder. And the story is funny, I cut short, but when he arrived near to the ashram, in the city just near to the ashram, he had a car accident. Somebody went and picked him up. And he has a car accident, very strong car, run into our car, and he broke his rib. And he's supposed to build a temple the next morning because there is a Krishna's birthday that is coming up this month, actually. Krishna's birthday, August the 18th. So that time is like that, you know, Krishna's birthday coming up, and we are to build a temple, and the statue is being ordered from India, and it's very serious, you know, it was short time. So he has to build a temple. So he doesn't want to go to hospital. He just bend his chest, yeah, and he's ready to build the temple the next morning. And then I was sitting satsang, and I said to the group, we were 5, 6 people there, and I said, so today we'll build a temple. I don't know who built the temple because the temple builder, number one, he has injury. Number two, he cannot build it himself. Yeah, so I don't know who will help him. So I just say like this, early morning, 6:30, 6 morning. And then I look at the window just next to where I sit in the meditation hall. And then one man passed by. At that time, Grass Valley, nobody knows, you know, nobody comes there. And 6:30 early morning to nobody's there. I just say like this, who's going to build a temple? One man passed by the window. So then I finished the satsang. So I came out, the picnic table, he sit there by the picnic table, and I asked him, who are you? And he answered, my name is Guru Prasad. Yeah, what is Guru Prasad? Is the offering of the Guru. Yeah. So he said like that, my name is Guru Prasad. So I said, what are you doing? He answered, I am a temple builder. Literally, he said like this, I am a temple builder. It's impossible. In Grass Valley, California, nobody built any temple. And that man appeared at the moment that I say so, and he said, my name is Guru Prasad, and I am a temple builder. And he showed his belt, you know, I have tools here, I have more tools in my truck. It's like a real thing, you know. So I said to him, oh, so today we are building a temple. Do you want to help? As if something normal, you know. Building a temple is not normal. So then he helped. So then we started the building of the temple. 3 days after, he left because I went. As far that I'm there, he's there. Yeah, but I went to San Francisco. At that time, I had to be also teaching in San Francisco. I drive myself. Every 3 days, I drive to San Francisco. And it's very funny because Guru Prasad, he sit there, and then at the lunchtime, we sit at the table. Then he always gave me food. Yeah, he gave me food. He gave me water, and I said I didn't want anybody to give me, you know, food. So I said, give to other people, you know, other staff that sit there at the table. Give to other people. But he just keep giving me food, give me water, give me everything. And then after 3 days, I left for San Francisco, and he disappeared. So that is the real story, how, you know, your devotion give whatever you need. Okay? So I have more story, but that's enough. So basically, this world is more marvelous than what you think. Yeah? And you need to be able to see through and do your practice with sincerity and devotion, and everything will happen. Yeah. So yesterday I was very upset when I saw the news of one of the teacher, famous teacher, that teach something wrong. I was very upset, you know. So some people, you know, life is difficult, but you have to teach people devotion so that they, and discipline, so they can, you know, control their mind, and then, you know, dedicate their heart, and then they and they see through the maya or the illusion of their own mind, and they see the peace and the happiness. So that is a real teaching. And this teacher, very famous, but he teach something wrong completely, and it get me very upset. He says something like, "Oh, life is very difficult, you know, and you are all very," he say, "coward. You are coward. You're coward, so you are not suiciding yourself, you know, because life is difficult. Life doesn't have fun, so you need to have fun, otherwise suicide yourself. But you're a coward," something like this, and it's so wrong. It's so wrong teaching. So then after he teach people, you know, to be free, to dance, to drink, to um, have sex with everybody, and enjoy life, because life is difficult, otherwise suicide yourself. Like crazy, yeah. So there is a crazy teaching that's happening. So be very careful. Yeah, Swami Sivananda doesn't teach like that. He teach you discipline. Yeah. He teach you, Swami Vishnudevanji teach you to do hard work, to do sadhana, and to think properly. And to have a teacher that explain to you things, so you don't just follow your own tendency, yeah, and do wrong thing. Hare Om Tat Sat. So today that's a teaching. Thank you very much, you all. Um, Carry on. So I see people here. Yeah, Kanti is there. Yeah, Ho Chi Minh, Vivek, Atma Prem, Mangala. I see different people. Okay. So thank you, Kashi. Thank you for following, and carry on with your week. Okay. So do your sadhana. Don't just come once a week, but um, you have to do your sadhana every day, so then you can keep your mind elevated. And your mind need to be elevated, otherwise it go down. Yeah, it go down, and from there you are there. You lose all the prana, and when you lose all the prana, you cannot think proper. You cannot think high, and then at that time you take wrong decision, and you create problem to yourself. Okay. Om